All right, let's walk through accounts real quick. There's 15 account filters, plus you got keywords at the same time, okay? And keywords, set it up for an exact or partial match, and you can use asterisks or Boolean for some of that. We'll talk more about that later, but as an example, if you type in pres, P-R-E-S, and then the asterisk, it'll give you everyone with any variation of that in their title. President, vice president, senior vice president, executive vice president, blah, 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 right? Revenues, again, LinkedIn's revenue figures are not factual. I don't know what criteria they use. It's not, if it's a privately held company, they've got some sort of algorithm that, and I would assume it's based off of the activity on LinkedIn and the headcount and so forth, but I've already given you a couple examples where they're way off. So just don't trust, and definitely verify the revenue figures as quoted in Sales Navigator, okay? Headcount, usually pretty close. It usually is. One exception is, I'll use recruiting firms or staffing firms as an example. They work at this school as a substitute teacher, but they're sent there by ABC Staffing, and they're affiliated with ABC Staffing. So they show up as an employee. They're a contract employee, so technically they're an employee, but it's not part of the core, right? It's part of the revenue. So in those cases, it can be a little misleading. You see a staffing firm with 150 employees, they may only actually have 20 employees, right? But other than that, it's fairly accurate, and you can kind of back into targets based on revenues from headcount, right? There's some fluctuation based on industry and so forth, but you can pretty much tell, right? Showing it percentages for the headcount growth, fortune filter. Again, it's a major account thing. Headquarters, that matters in some instances, especially in sales organizations with territories and so forth, but it's almost always wherever that individual is located on the buyer persona. So if you search by region, you can choose among different filters based on their geographical stuff. I tend to get super specific, so I don't do regional searches as a general rule. But again, it depends. If you're looking at something very highly specialized and there's a smaller number, then that's how you grow that number. Typically, is expand the geographical reach. So, but those are the geographical divisions that they break down. Okay, you can go to postal codes. I don't bother with this stuff with the drop down on the zip code. I just do metropolitan city area or a state as an example. I touched on the industries. It's changing. It's not perfect. Some industries get more love than others. I've already used the vast differences between information technology and marketing as kind of extreme examples on both ends. You can narrow your search results based on the number of followers from a company's LinkedIn page. I typically don't do that. Technology's used. I do that. Job opportunities, recent activities, obviously. You have to have at least one LinkedIn member. That's your first degree connection. Companies in here, again, that's an advanced plus thing.